Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Dana Arcuri, author, speaker, survivor, and advocate. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy spring to all of you. Spring has sprung where I live. It is a gorgeous, beautiful day out. My daughter and I went for a walk in the park and had a little picnic in the park and had a really great time just being outdoors and breathing in the fresh air, people. That's what it's all about. It's a splendid day, and I'm bringing to you a new message. So we're going to take a deep dive today into the psychology of flying monkeys and talk about the 10 reasons why flying monkeys will defend and protect the narcissist. And so it's really intriguing when we start getting into this analysis of what is going on with the flying monkeys. Now, why on earth will they defend and protect and battle their lives on behalf of a malignant narcissist? So let's get started in this very interesting information. So the number one covert tactic that the malignant narcissist will use in effort to hurt and manipulate the scapegoat is to recruit flying monkeys. So the flying monkeys do the dirty work of the narcissist. This is called abuse by proxy. And the narcissist has this cunning, clever way of fooling the flying monkeys about who they truly are. So we have to understand, number one, the malignant narcissist is like Jekyll and Hyde. So they have this fake persona, and it's almost like they're wearing a mask. And when they're with certain people, such as the flying monkeys, you know, they're this syrupy, sweet person. Oh, they're so kind. Oh, they're so lovely and gracious, and they have good manners. But oh, look out when the narcissist is with the scapegoat, because all hell breaks loose, the mask slips off their face, and they become a malicious, emotional vampire out to suck the life out of you. And many people who are either the black sheep in the family or they're a scapegoat, they're already well aware of what goes on with both the narcissist and the flying monkeys. So this is really hard for a lot of people who end up becoming the black sheep in the family or a scapegoat. You know, we did not choose this role. And it's really intriguing that in the book by Pete Walker, who wrote the book PTSD From Surviving to Thriving, he said, very interesting, now this is getting very near the end of his book, he's talking about forgiveness. And lo and behold, he brought up, you know, groups of people who he considers unforgivable. And so in this chapter, I was reading it yesterday, whoo, man, talk about a breath of fresh air, people. So Pete Walker calls it out like it is, you know, a spade for a spade. It was pretty remarkable reading his thoughts on scapegoating. And so he said that he believes that those people who scapegoat innocent people, especially the family members, he said that their sins are unforgivable. Now, of course, you might have a different opinion, and that is perfectly fine. And let's not even get into the whole topic on forgiveness, because we'll save that for another day. But in the meanwhile, it was just really great to see that someone fully understands narcissistic abuse. You know, Pete Walker, who wrote Complex PTSD, he is a survivor of narcissistic abuse. I highly recommend this book. And you could read the chapter on forgiveness and decide for yourself what your own belief system is. But we have to understand that healing is really in walking the hard path of trauma recovery, of processing the pain, waking up to the abuse by the flying monkeys and the narcissist, aka, don't forget your toxic siblings play a role in here. Yes, they do. And I just thought it was very fascinating that someone can call out the narcissists and the flying monkeys and stand up on behalf of all scapegoats. So 2 thumbs up for Pete Walker. In the meanwhile, we're going to move forward with how the narcissist is like Jekyll and Hyde. They have 2 personas. So to the flying monkeys, they are super sweet and kind, and they might actually have some manners. And yet to the scapegoat, they are controlling, manipulating, they bully, they silence, they mentally abuse the scapegoat. So we can really understand that. The flying monkeys could be a wide range of people. So keep in mind, this is wide open. I'm just going to name a few people who it could be, but of course with your scenario, it might be totally different. So the flying monkeys might be your friends, your coworkers. It might be your brothers and your sisters. It could be your mother or your father. It might be your ex-boyfriend's family, friends, etc., etc. And the truth is the flying monkeys could even be strangers. So I found out in 2018, after I went no contact with my toxic siblings, aka flying monkeys, who protected my narcissistic mother, who defended her and claimed that I was the abuser. Huh. Yeah, they love to twist and turn the facts, but they even recruited strangers to gang up on me. And of course, we can understand that the mobbing mentality is considered another form of psychological abuse. So let's get into 10 reasons why the flying monkeys defend and protect the malignant narcissist. Number 1, the flying monkeys have a lack of awareness. So awareness is a really powerful thing, because when we're aware of our circumstances, our surroundings, the things that are happening behind closed doors, when we're really enlightened and we can really be aware and educated about what is going on, especially in the dysfunctional family unit, then we could appreciate when people speak the truth. But when there are flying monkeys who are absolutely unaware of what is happening, they can't walk in the truth. They don't know what's up, what's down. They are very confused people. They live in this fantasy land. They're oblivious to their own reality. And so we can understand that this is why they defend the narcissist, because they're not even aware that this individual is narcissistic. Number 2 is the flying monkeys may have a trauma bond. So let's chat about it. So according to Medical News Today, quote unquote, a trauma bond is a psychological response to abuse. It occurs when the abused person forms an unhealthy bond with the person who abuses them. The flying monkey who is experiencing abuse by the narcissist may develop sympathy for the toxic person, which becomes reinforced with the cycle of abuse, and then it can be followed by remorse. But they don't have enough remorse to make a wise change in their life. So they may live feeling very guilty. They may have this incredible amount of shame, and deep down, they may know the truth, but it's just easier for them to play the game as if it's really you, the scapegoat, who's the problem. You know, they love to say, to the scapegoat, you're the crazy one, it's all you. But the truth is that this flying monkey, good chance they do have a trauma bond with the narcissist, especially if it is their mother, father, or siblings, or even a spouse, an ex-spouse, etc., etc. And another name for trauma bond is known as the Stockholm Syndrome. You may want to research that, people, especially if you have flying monkeys who you believe are dealing with this. Number 3 is the flying monkeys have a codependent relationship with the narcissist. Again, this could be a different relationship, whether it's mother-child, whether it's their partner, their friend, their spouse, many different scenarios. However, to understand codependency, let's first consider the definition of what it means. According to Merriam-Webster.com, quote unquote, codependency is a psychological condition or a relationship in which a person is controlled or manipulated by another person, or in a relationship in which a person is being affected by this psychological condition. So codependency is a psychological condition. This is why it is hard for flying monkeys to leave the unhealthy relationship with the narcissist. So whether it's their brother, their sister, their grandparents, their mother, their father, their ex-boyfriend, girlfriend, their boss, they just don't have the guts or the strength to walk away and end the cycle of abuse. And then we can understand that the codependent flying monkeys sacrifice their own lives, their own health, their own emotions, their needs, and their safety. And they are under the thumb of the narcissist. Number 4 is idolatry. Oh, yes, let's talk about this one. The flying monkeys place the narcissist on a very high pedestal. It's to the point where the flying monkeys literally worship the malignant narcissist as if they were God or some king or queen. Very ironic that my siblings called my mother queen. They called her queen. Oh, very interesting, because they placed her on a high pedestal and they've been fooled for decade after decade and still live in denial. We can understand that flying monkeys are dedicated, they are devoted, and they remain loyal to the malignant narcissist. Number 5 is denial and dysfunction. Oh yeah, whenever you see a flying monkey, you can understand they are living in denial and they are very dysfunctional people. And they have a lot of dysfunctional relationships. So another reason why flying monkeys defend a narcissist is because they live in denial and they are dysfunctional. So it all goes hand in hand. We can understand that all relationships with a narcissist is dysfunctional. Okay, so when you have a narcissist, these people are very, very unstable. They are psychologically demented. They are cruel, hateful, emotional vampires who will suck the life out of you. And so we can understand that there is nothing healthy or positive that can ever result from a relationship with a narcissist. And we can understand also that all relationships with narcissists are very destructive. The flying monkeys live in denial about who the narcissist truly is. They don't want to believe that this toxic person intentionally hurts them, manipulates them, gaslights them, hurts them, abuses them, and treats them like dirty trash. So I think that some flying monkeys may be able to see a little bit of a shred of truth about who narcissists are. But because they don't have the courage to end this destructive relationship, they prefer to play the mind game that they don't know what you're talking about. So say a scapegoat will talk to one of the flying monkeys and say, don't you understand this person is a narcissist? They don't even love you. They're just using you to do the dirty work. So a flying monkey might just deny it, say, oh no, it's your imagination. Oh, you're just too sensitive. Oh, you need to just get over it. Oh no, this is just their personality. Oh, they were just having a bad day. Excuse me. How many years does this person have a bad day? Because when you're going on 80 years of a narcissistic mother who is the most wicked, sinister person who purposefully hurts her children, you can't hand me the BS. They're just having a bad day. Why don't we just call it for what it is? They're just a bad person. Next would be number 6. So the flying monkeys have what's called the fear factor. So they're very, very scared of the narcissist. And while they might see the narcissist as lashing out at you, the narcissist is scapegoating you, okay? And so the flying monkeys can see this, but yet they're scared to death. Well, what if it happens to them? Well, what if they get on the bad side? Well, what if the narc starts manipulating them and spewing all their poison all over them? So they're really fearful of this. So what happens is that the flying monkeys protect the narcissist because there is a root of fear. Okay, so the flying monkeys, aka toxic siblings, are terrified, absolutely terrified of the narcissist. So they'll never stand up to the narcissist. They'll never speak out and say, I'm done with you. I've had it with your despicable, appalling, abusive behavior, and I'm going to end this relationship. Instead, they just are in a cycle of fear, and it just keeps going around and around and around. And because they don't have the courage to stand up to the narcissist, they just remain these terrified people. Next would be number 7. Follow the money trail. Okay, so let's take a deep dive into why money plays a very big role in these destructive relationships, and why would the narcissist have something over on the flying monkeys to control them. And so we could think of it like this. Picture a puppet, and the puppet has all of this money and great wealth and fame and power. They have the power of influence, and all of the flying monkeys, they are manipulating, and they are doing everything they can in their power to fool them. And what happens is, if this person who is the narcissist does have any form of monetary wealth, power, prestige, any form of influence in any manner. So there's a lot of different leadership roles this person could be in. This could also be someone who is looked upon by society in a certain way because they have wealth. And so, of course, the flying monkeys, they want to be on the good side of the narcissist, especially if a bonus is money, meaning they're going to benefit from being in a relationship and staying loyal to the narcissist, because perhaps when the narcissist passes away, these flying monkeys are really hoping and planning that they're a beneficiary to the inheritance, the trust fund, and anything else they could get their little fingers on. And so what happens is that the flying monkeys will withstand all conflicts and abuse with a narcissist if they see big, fat dollar signs. So they're money-hungry people who will stoop so low to stay in a relationship with a very destructive, pathologically unhealthy person, such as a narcissist, because they know that they could gain some kind of money, some kind of perk. Maybe they could end up getting an inheritance of the home, the property, the trust fund. There's a lot of things that they're banking on that they're going to come into when this person passes away. And so money is a big motivation for flying monkeys to stay loyal and to defend the malignant narcissist. Now, we can also understand that when the narcissist passes away, let's just say it is one of the parents. So it could be the mother, it could be the father. And the flying monkeys are some of the children. So we can understand that these flying monkeys will lie, cheat, and steal from the family scapegoat. They will steal the inheritance. They will steal the trust fund. They will steal the property. They will lie through their teeth. Anything that's to do with legalities, anything that's to do with money and inheritance, etc., etc. And they have a motive to not only take what they can from the dead narc, but they're gonna steal and lie and cheat and stoop as low as possible to also take what was supposed to be for the family scapegoat. And all I'm going to say about this, I personally experienced it. Let's move on to another reason why flying monkeys defend the narcissist. They are psychologically unstable people. We have to understand that the reason why flying monkeys are protecting and defending and fighting on behalf of the malignant narc is because they are psychologically unstable. They do not have a sound mind. There is a good chance that if this family generational tree had trauma from one generation to another, and we do know that this is what has been going on for generation to generation, decade after decade, and many people within that family tree end up either being a narcissist, B, the black sheep in the family, or C, the flying monkey. So there's a lot of roles that they play, but we have to understand that many of the flying monkeys are quite toxic people. They've learned from the narcissist. If they were raised in this dysfunctional family unit, they've already seen with their own eyes and observed the behaviors, the words, and the vicious actions of a narcissist, in which they start mirroring it too. So it's like there's a mirror and they're looking at the narc, they're watching how they behave, and they start mimicking these same behaviors in which they gang up on the family scapegoat, just like the narcissist does. Next would be number 9, another reason why flying monkeys always defend the narcissist is because the flying monkeys are insecure cowards. So the flying monkeys are very insecure. They are typically known as being followers. They are not leaders. They are people pleasers who bow down to the evil narcissist, and they will do whatever they're commanded to do, including all of the dirty work of lashing out, stalking, gaslighting, retaliating, and creating smear campaigns against the scapegoat. We can also understand that due to the flying monkeys' inadequacies, their weaknesses, and their lack of confidence, they feel powerless and helpless with the narcissist. Therefore, they continue to play nice with the narc. They're best friends, and they will follow the narc's orders no matter what. Number 10, another reason why flying monkeys protect the narcissist is because they are brainwashed. Now, especially in cases of the dysfunctional family, we have to understand many of the kids of the narcissistic parent are brainwashed decade after decade, year after year. And what happens is that the narcissist is a master of manipulation. They are an expert con artist who has fooled the flying monkeys. And this goes back to codependency. So they're very codependent. These flying monkeys are very codependent in a relationship with the narcissist. And we can also understand that they are brainwashed by the narcissist. And unfortunately, the flying monkeys are blind, deaf, and mute. Obviously, they're not living in reality, which also goes back to number one. They have no awareness, which continues this vicious cycle of abuse. Next is that, number 10. Next is that the flying monkeys always fall for anything the narcissistic person does. So it's like hook, line, sinker. And these flying monkeys just never seem to understand what is happening in these destructive, unhealthy dynamics in the relationships with the narcissist and even with the other flying monkeys. So again, when you are codependent, when you are psychologically unstable, when you have fear, when your motive is to gain money and the family inheritance, when you are a weak coward who has no courage to stand up and fight back with the narcissist and to just go no contact, then you end up in this cycle that goes on and on and on. And we can understand that the only person who had the wisdom, the awareness, the knowledge, the education, the courage, and the empowerment to make a change within that intergenerational traumatic family tree is the family scapegoat. So the family scapegoat is the one who's typically the highly sensitive person, the truth seeker, the whistleblower, the empath, who will say no more. And they will be the ones to blow the whistle, call out the BS, and walk away from all the relationships. And so today, my friends, are you experiencing the horrific abuse and bullying from flying monkeys and narcissists? If so, who is the flying monkey? Is this your brother, your sister, your in-laws, your mother, your father, your friend, your coworker, an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend? So share with me who this flying monkey is, and why do you believe that flying monkeys remain year after year, decade after decade, loyal, dedicated, and devoted to the malignant narcissist? So I'd love to hear what you have to say. Let's carry on this conversation in the comments. Feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share your own stories about the flying monkeys and the narcissist. Thank you so much. And if you'd like to follow me, you could go to danaarcuri.com. Have a beautiful day.